We'll call this meeting to order. If you'll please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you and good morning. I want to start this meeting out by reading that the Board of Supervisors may, by motion, recess into executive session to receive legal advice from the board's attorney on any item contained in this agenda pursuant to ARS 38-431.03A 3 and 4. So we have several board members attending by telephone this morning, so I'll ask the clerk of the board to do a roll call and determine if we have a quorum.
Supervisor Watson?
Yes.
Supervisor Angus?
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson?
Here.
And Supervisor Moss?
Here.
And Supervisor Bishop?
Present. All right, going on to official business to come before the board. I have item number 1, discussion and possible action reference Golden Valley Fire District. Supervisor Johnson, you asked to have this put on the agenda, so I'll turn the floor over to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I placed backup items which give rise to concerns regarding the operation of the Golden Valley Fire District. We're just finishing the commitment of county taxpayer funds to bail out another fire district in the county. It is clear that if we are expecting all county residents to ride to the rescue of fire districts, we should make every effort to check the financial situations of districts who might need help before they need our county tax dollars. With that, I move to direct our operation and management and budget to meet with the chairman of the Golden Valley Fire District and review the financial solvency of the district and report back to the board.
Is that the form of a motion?
Yes, that was a motion.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and we have the motion seconded. Is there any discussion? Having no discussion, I do have 8 people that request to speak, and I'm going to allow them each 3 minutes to make their comments before we take a vote. So I'm going to start with Chief O'Donoghue. Chief O'Donoghue, if you will please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thomas O'Donoghue, and the address of the Fire District Office, 3327 North Mare Road, Golden Valley. Thank you for the time for the board members. And I want to tell you, while we appreciate your sensitivity to the financial health of the fire district, or any fire district within Mohave County, there's some facts that I want to bring forward, and I have some handouts for you that will help ease your mind. 7 other fire districts, half of the 14 in Mohave County, are at their $3.25 maximum at this point. Of the 14 fire districts in the area, only NACFED, Northern Arizona Consolidated Fire District, is lower than Golden Valley, and only by 2 cents. Golden Valley is poised to receive nearly $1.8 million the first year operating the CON, putting nearly $500,000 back into our local economy and helping the Golden Valley taxpayers. Golden Valley has other revenue sources as well. We do out-of-district contracts that bring in over $600,000 into the organization. Wildland firefighting, which last year brought in about $78,000, and of course our tax monies, which is about $1.4 million. I know that Golden Valley and the Board of Supervisors are not without their detractors and their critics, but we don't work exclusively for the 2% of the people who find fault in everything that goes on. We know that you've received some complaints. We work for the 98% of the people who support the fire district, the goals and objectives set by our board of directors. And we take care of 100% of our citizens. And a couple of years ago, the fire district did an exhaustive survey where we received approximately 97% support, not only for the pursuit of the CON, which is huge for our community, but also in the job and the services that we provide, and they have confidence in where we're going. We are good stewards of the taxpayers' money. We are a debt-free organization. We owe nothing. We are making improvements to an already outstanding service provided, and those who support us are sitting home today comfortable knowing that their elected officials and their fire chief are making sure that they're safe at home and fulfilling the wishes by being good stewards of their money and addressing this issue with the Board of Supervisors. If I can, I'll approach and I'll give you some handouts so that you can give to the other board members.
Thank you, Chief. If you just give those handouts to the clerk of the board, she'll make sure we all get a copy. And just so you know, I respect what you're doing for Golden Valley and appreciate you. So thank you very much. Okay, the next person I'll call is Mr. Paul Gorman. Mr. Gorman, if you'll state your name and address for the record.
Yes, my name is Paul Gorman, 4603 West Abrigo, Golden Valley, Arizona. I am the chairman of the board for the Golden Valley Fire District. I only have a couple things to say. You know, Golden Valley Fire District has no debt. Unlike many other fire districts, we own everything. We don't have a line of credit. We own everything. As of last night, we had $1.3 million in the bank, and we're still getting our next payment on our tax revenues. The ambulance that everybody is questioning right now, the board did extensive research and planning and budgeting. The ambulance will pay for itself on startup, will pay for itself in operation, and it will return to our district almost $400,000 in the first year of operations. And this is based on very conservative transports. The people of Golden Valley deserve the professional and caring service that this ambulance will provide. We're here to serve our people in Golden Valley. Our firemen are dedicated, all our personnel are dedicated, and most of this board today on this for the district is very dedicated and very concerned about the conservatorship of the funds. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gorman, and thank you for your service. Mr. Stephen Robinson.
I'm Stephen Robinson, 3439 North Bowie Road. Chairman Bishop, sounds good. Members of the board, I have focused my 2+ years on the board on the financial aspects of this board. When I ran for the board 2.5 years ago, I looked at the financial statements. At the end of 2012, our audit showed we had $3.8 million in the bank. We started this fiscal year with $2.2 million in the bank after investing in a new fire station, in the public safety training building, and pursuing this application for certificate of necessity. So we have managed the funds extremely well. The decision that's in your packet, they talked about the fiscal competence and resources, and it said that we have managed over $1 million and has dealt with the declining tax revenues over the recent years. 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, we had $4 million in revenues. This last tax revenues projected. This current fiscal year, we have $1.5 million. In spite of the declining revenues, we have managed our finances very well. Because of this CON, and I think getting back to the decision by the Department of Health Services, they spent over, in my opinion, in time and resources, they spent over $1 million of their time and money reviewing this application. We had a 2-year hearing, and even after that 2-week hearing last October, November, and even in spite of the negative decision by the recommendation by the law judge, Corey Nelson, the administrator, said all the facts are in favor of supporting the CON. They have looked at our finances with a fine-tooth comb. Their point was, we have adequate reserves, we've proven ourselves capable of managing our money, and the key point about getting this ambulance service is 2 points. One, faster, better service. Two, we save our taxpayers lots of money. We don't have to raise our rates in this upcoming year. So that's why I believe what would be done by the OMB would be redundant based upon what the state has done, and the state doesn't care who's the winner and who's the loser. Their job is to do their job and figure out which side has the best case. And the Department of Health Services says Golden Valley Fire District deserves this service, and they will do a better job and will do it fiscally prudently. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Mr. Jack Hummel. Again, please state your name and address for the record.
Good morning, I'm Jack Hummel, 3275 West Chia Drive in Golden Valley. Madam Chairman, honorable board members, I have been one of the most vocal opponents to this CON, and I'm roundly hated for doing so, and that's fine. It is my contention that this is going to be a money loser, a poison pill, a disaster for the community of Golden Valley. And the decision made by the Department of Health Services, in that decision it states, the ARCR admits that the ambulance service will operate at a deficit for the first year and likely periods beyond the first year. That's the state speaking, not me. I do not see how this can possibly serve the community other than by damaging the community. This is an affluent, it is not an affluent community. Golden Valley is mostly retirees, not very many people with any money out there. And it galls me and it makes me fearful that this mismanaged, misconceived, misconstrued ambulance service is going to be damaging beyond all description to the community. And it is beyond my ken to understand how this can be allowed to go forward. And having said that, without getting into the details, I'll thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I'll call Jim Consulado. Good morning. Please state your name and address, please.
My name's Jim Consulado, live at 3024 Malibu Road, Golden Valley, Arizona, 86413. I'd like to thank the Board of Supervisors for having this meeting this morning. I want to make special thanks to Supervisor Buster Johnson. Thank you, sir, because I agree with you. This Golden Valley Fire District and the finances around this con need to be looked at by a completely impartial authority. I want to say that the Golden Valley Fire District did not have 98% support in the community. That's a pie-in-the-sky figure that was calculated by an incomplete survey of several hundred people. I want to tell you that the people that are opposed to this care very much about the people in Golden Valley. That is our concern. That's why Rhonda Brooks, director in the Golden Valley Fire District, has put herself on the line to tell the people the truth in a manipulation. Look, the years of dysfunction that have taken place, numerous problems, leave the general public with a diminished feeling of integrity and trust for the Golden Valley Fire District, for the Golden Valley Board of Directors. This particular issue has done nothing but create chaos in the community, turning friends and neighbors against each other. And what is it about? It is not about the welfare of the people of Golden Valley. It's about egos. It's about friendships. It's about everything else but about the people of Golden Valley. And one thing I think we need to remember, and I thank you, Buster, for remembering it, we must move cautiously. We must, if we're going to err, we must err on the side of caution with all prudence. And I'd like to say I'm pretty disappointed in my particular supervisor, in her position, her take on this. Thank you. Please take it to heart.
Thank you very much. The next speaker will be John Valentine.
Good morning, Madam Chair. John Valentine,
morning.
River Medical Ambulance, 415 El Camino Way, Lake Havasu City, Arizona. I'm here to say that, first of all, the CON issue that's before you is not completed. Although the director, Corey Nelson, has made a decision that the administrative law judge was incorrect in the 114-page document that she created, there is still a 30-day wait period for a what they call review or rehearing phase that could or could not be applied for by River Medical. Upon completion of that, there is the director decision could take up to 15 to 20 days for him to either review or rehear, send back to a hearing. From that point, the intervener, which is River Medical, has the opposition to appeal that to the Superior Court. So this CON for Golden Valley is still going through the legal process. I will be careful in what we go forward with in this hearing. I will tell you that you should read the administrative law opinion. It was a 2-week opinion that was put forth by an administrative law judge that said that the Golden Valley Fire District was, one, not fit and proper to operate an ambulance service. They would operate at a loss. That the current provider does provide a outstanding service. There was not a problem with the service that was being provided at that location. There was a discrepancy between the administrative law judge and the director's statement about response times that were incorrect. This needs to go through the legal process. We will continue to serve the fine people of Golden Valley as we've done for decades. And I came here today to answer any questions that any of you may have. And with that, I'll pose for questions if you have any.
Thank you, Mr. Valentine.
Thank you, Chairman.
Next up will be Mr. Kurt Hardy.
Good morning, Supervisors. My name is Kurt Hardy. I live at 3481 South Topaz, Golden Valley. I'm a retired fire chief. I served on the Golden Valley Fire District Board for a number of years. I'm the immediate past chairman of the board, and I was one of the 5 original members who put this together to bring a CON to Golden Valley. I am in favor of a CON. I believe that we are financially stable, and I'll reiterate what some of the people before me said, that we owe no one. We own all our equipment and all of our facilities, and I'm in favor of this CON. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then our last speaker is Kathy Stedman.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the Board of Supervisors. My name is Kathy Stedman, 2800 North Central, Suite 1200, Phoenix, Arizona. I am with the firm of Coppersmith Brockelman, and I have assisted Golden Valley in the pursuit of this certificate of necessity since approximately 2011. Mr. Valentine is absolutely accurate that the CON process is not over. In fact, we're in a critical 35-day period, which is why the citizens and the members here from Golden Valley find it so important to convey the information, clear, clean, factual information about their financial well-being and the process that has been going on for approximately 4 years in the pursuit of this CON. A little bit of background may be helpful for the members of the Board of Supervisors. The original application for certificate of necessity for Golden Valley was filed in November of 2011. That application spent almost a year internally at the Arizona Department of Health Services with internal CPAs, specialists about service area, specialists about fit and proper, specialists about the timing and response times and the apparatus necessary to perform ground ambulance services. After that year period, wherein internal staff recommended that the rates and charges were appropriate and solid based upon the financials presented in the ARCRs, which were incidentally prepared by an independent CPA firm that I had never worked with and Golden Valley had never worked with. The board was very specific in that they wanted an independent CPA firm to analyze whether this ground ambulance transport system would work for this community. Those independent CPAs have indicated that the CON will operate at a net positive for the Golden Valley community. That was taken into consideration by both the internal CPAs and by the director in his more than 20-page order that completely rejected the administrative law judge's decision that was issued in this matter. Excuse me. In addition to the statements made by Mr. Hummel, you should carefully review the entire decision of the director of the Arizona Department of Health Services, who I would strongly suggest is the independent body that makes a determination about whether a particular entity is appropriate to provide ground ambulance services for any community. In a footnote, he makes it very clear that the accounting mechanisms used by, the statutory accounting mechanisms used by the Department of Health Services will always reflect a negative in that it is accrual versus additive accounting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Stedman. Could I have the clerk of the board read the motion?
The motion is to direct the Office of Management and Budget to review the financial solvency of the Golden Valley Fire District. Do we have a motion and a second?
Thank you. I'd like to hear from Jean Hepler from OMB.
Good morning, Supervisor Bishop and other members and staff. Gene Hepler, I'm the Director of the Office of Management and Budget. And we have to, after talking to legal, we have to be real cautious in moving forward in auditing. We can look at the reports and audit reports. The fire district did turn in their audit financials for 2014, and the board has a copy of that. And although there are some issues that were noted by the outside auditor, none of them really showed financial problems.
Okay, my question to you would be, what would another audit show that the current audit hasn't pointed out? And do you know how long that would take should we vote to do that?
Well, really, my understanding by looking at the statute, we have no grounds to go in and audit. We can review what is provided, but we have no grounds to audit their financials, to my knowledge. And we can ask legal opinion on that.
Okay, thank you. Do any of the other board members have any questions for Mr. Hepler?
I have a comment, if I could, Vice Chairman Bishop. This is Steve Moss.
Yes, Steve.
I am getting the sense here that, listening to the speakers, that there's essentially a feud going on in Golden Valley. There's the one group who is opposed to the certificate of necessity in the ambulance service, and another group who supports the certificate of necessity. The group that supports it appears to be the duly elected, or at least the majority of the duly elected fire board and the fire chief. And when I'm listening to this, I get the sense that we're being asked, or some people have the impression that the Mohave County Board of Supervisors is some sort of super board that can sit in judgment of other elected boards. That is not the case. The Golden Valley Fire District is an independent board. Its voters decide who sits on that board, and that board decides the course of conduct that the Golden Valley Fire District is going to engage in, not the Mohave County Board of Supervisors. So if people think that Mohave County is somehow going to undo the Golden Valley Fire District's intended course of action, I think they're going to be disappointed. We don't have the legal power, and I don't think we have, I think if we did have that power, it'd be bad public policy. But having said that, the true focus here has really got to be this administrative process where the state of Arizona decides whether or not the Golden Valley Fire District is due an ambulance service and a certificate of necessity issue. And that's where the proper thrust should be. And it sounds like the parties are involved in that process, which is good. Whether one group or the other is correct on the financial consequences, I'm not going to judge that because I think that's the state of Arizona's job, and they're doing it. They're in process. And I've heard from the people involved that that process is still ongoing. Now, that's my caution here, is that for the members of the public who are listening, if you think the Mohave County Board of Supervisors is allowed to sit in judgment on fire districts boards, that's false. We are not. Not unless there's been a majority resignation or there's a finding of financial insolvency does that occur. And that would, I think, be indicated by the audits that they're required to present. So I've given the negatives to one part here. I'll also give the positive, and I'll compliment Supervisor Johnson on this. I don't think we have the legal power to audit, but I believe his motion asks Gene Hepler of OMB to review the financial statements of the Golden Valley Fire District. I think that we're obligated to review the financial statements of the Golden Valley Fire District anyway. That's part of our legal duties. So I have absolutely no problem supporting a review of the financial statements, but I don't think we should be sticking our noses in with audits. That's between the state and the Golden Valley Fire District and their statutory responsibilities and the statutory criteria. And that's me speaking my piece.
Thank you, Supervisor Moss. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Any comments? Supervisor Johnson?
Yes.
Do you have any other comments you would like to make?
No, there's a motion and a second. I'm ready to vote.
Okay, Supervisor Watson, do you have any comments?
No, I don't have any. Well, yes, I do. This is for a review, and considering the amount of money that we had to come up with the fire district in the Meadview and Dolan Springs area, I think it's only proper that Mohave County take at least a review. These are major dollars that can be involved, so I think a review is quite the process that we should entertain.
Thank you, Supervisor Watson. Supervisor Angus?
No comment.
All right, I would like to say that I'm very concerned about the health of the Golden Valley Fire Department and the ongoing turmoil, but we're not going to solve anything by doing another audit, and I don't think we can do an audit legally. But I believe a review is something that we're obligated to do and we must do, and I think we have done that. But to have OMB take a closer look as a review, I don't have a problem with, and I would hope the Golden Valley Fire Department would welcome that as well, because it might put some of these rumors to rest. As a board, we hear a lot of rumors and we hear a lot of comments on telephone calls, but the Board of Supervisors cannot deal in rumors. So I'm going to ask for the vote. We have a motion, we have a second, and I'll ask the clerk of the board to go ahead and poll everybody for their vote.
Supervisor Watson?
Yes.
Supervisor Angus?
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson?
Yes.
Supervisor Moss?
Yes.
And Supervisor Bishop?
Yes. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn.